everybody. I've been trying to articulate as much as I can, and it's been like almost 20 years now. I've been talking about people who have a certain kind of mindset that has them gravitate towards like purely positive, woke, overly liberal. And I'm a liberal guy. I always tell people I'm not a closed-minded person, and I don't see myself as like a hardcore conservative, closed-minded individual. But there's a reality that exists that we have to stay within, whether we're leaning in one direction or the other. And it's not even a political thing. It's just how people can be wired, and sometimes people are wired with so much emotion or confirmation of their sense of self that they have a very difficult time seeing anything beyond that. And the problem is that when it gets to the level of pathology, which we see in the dog training and a lot of other communities, is that it's like a child who can't deal with something not going their way, as far as for a certain few amount of people who are, for lack of a better description, mentally ill. They want the whole entirety of society to bend in their direction to suit their, narcissism, their way of seeing it that isn't always based in reality. And a lot of times, as a crafty way to get these goals accomplished, is they do it under the guise of kindness, humanity. They use semantics when they speak. And why am I making this video today? I was looking at Facebook and I got an ad from, I guess, some positive, woke-minded, I don't know what it is. They're selling shirts, and the shirt said it's cues, not commands. It's like how people would just call an experienced person, if it's a man or whatever, mansplaining, when they were just literally sharing their experience, and then they try to make a negative out of just a reality. It's like not with an intention that they're perceiving it to be, because again, narcissists make everything about themselves and defending their egos, when it's just a matter of fact, like, well, maybe if you step outside of yourself, you can learn from this person. So commands, not cues. What is that? It's clearly someone who has such an aversion to the control of an authority, doesn't believe in hierarchy. And hierarchy you're not born into. You actually have to earn and work hard and develop a character, or have a base level character, to be in a position where you're more suited to make decisions. For not everyone, there's levels to it, but for certain people who are not making very rational or sound or helpful decisions for themselves or society on their own. And again, people who give that, it's cues, not commands. Cues is like, well, the dog should have the choice too. And again, commands isn't a negative thing. It's just telling the dog definitively, because in certain situations, you need your dog to listen better than their choices are going to dictate. It doesn't mean like there's anything wrong with that. It's not a threatening gesture. It doesn't mean, well, I guess humans are more evolved. Like if I'm out hiking with my dog and they see a deer and they don't know what to do, my recall command is going to make a better choice for their actions than their own inherent ones, their own organic decisions. And then eventually that becomes conditioned, and they can make some of those decisions of impulse control or checking in, or the commands replacing a negative behavior on their own. But yeah, a lot of these people, and again, they just come out with if you even like, I try to articulate it as I am in this video, oh, you're just this, and it's like, no, I'm just pointing out reality from a very empathetic perspective, with really love driving my words and actions. But they see it, and that's what's made some people like us become more defensive, or wanting to speak out, or get a little more direct and harsh about it, because look at what they're doing. We're here just living our life. We're waking up every day, balanced dog trainers, people that, are willing to hold the dog accountable for their actions. It doesn't mean you're punishing them. It means you're addressing the issues, the behaviors at their root cause. And this is what people haven't done with their children. You raise your kid, making them think that they're such a superstar, or society has overly validated you for making no effort, or even making negative effort and causing problems. And now you just have this inflated, again, all narcissism. Adam Carolla says all roads lead to narcissism, and it really does. And I'm not saying that I don't get driven by my ego at times as well, but I certainly am seeing things in reality, and I don't use semantics to lie to myself or try to control how other people, communicate, because I make it all about me 24/7 all the time, even things that are like societal, that not related to me. So anyway, hopefully I explain that well, but I think that's really the only value or power we can have, or way to, take this back. Reality is, like I'm doing, articulating the psychology of these people. I feel sad for them. They're very damaged, most of them. They're like when a dog feels they're running a household that humans should be structuring and scheduling for them. They try, they're going to get themselves in that position, but if I take water and just run a garden hose in my house, it's going to make a mess. You got to put that water in a container and control it, because again, it's sometimes that water can't handle its own energy, and that's how a lot of people, unfortunately, they're in positions of, because social media has given them a voice, or they've surrounded themselves in an echo chamber of people who are collectively thinking like, yeah, that's right, you are, because they want to manifest their own issues. And if those people aren't going to question them, well, let me get people who validate me. But that's why they turn on each other, because as soon as one of them doesn't say something the other one sees in their psychological schema, now they freak out on that person, even though they were on the same side prior. Okay, I'll leave it at that. I'm almost at the market. But yeah, I mean, and again, people like me, we're just saying reality because we walk the talk. You can check the social proof and the videos and the testimony of countless clients, of any trainers that are even somewhat along the lines of how I'm talking about it, versus the positive reinforcement who just make excuses and gaslight, and they just lie. They just lie, and that is so irresponsible and dangerous when it comes to helping dogs, right? If you love animals, why would you do something that does, or say something, or worse, try to affect the ability of people like us to help the dogs who really need it? Because you're not. You're the ones who recommend behavioral euthanasia, medication, just avoid the problem altogether. It's a joke, but it's sad, because we really care about dogs, and we also have a living we have to make, and people like this are just meddling in it in a way that is so pathological. Yeah, so anyway, again, I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff.